VA loan for the home buyers or for buying your first home.
VA loan is a great program. You have to earn your way into being in the VA loan. You have to be active military, former veteran with honorable discharge, surviving spouse. So you have to have a reason to get this loan. Not everybody can get this loan because it is a benefit for the people who have earned it. And if you are watching this video because you have earned it, we're so excited to thank you for paying attention to us here. So what is the number one benefit?
Therefore, what my wife said is basically the benefits of the VA loan, but of course you need the certificate of eligibility or CO to show that they honor your service.
And make sure you don't lose that or write on it. Don't put 1 2s in the corner because it can mess the whole thing up.
And the first thing that we wanted to talk basically is the benefit is 100% financing.
Right, so you don't have to bring a down payment to closing for this loan, which is a huge benefit and a boon that most people will never get. So you can come to this closing with no down payment, which means you can do 100% financing, which means your financial burden is less.
Exactly. But before we jump to the next and details, what we're going to do?
We should do our introduction. So with that, let's hit it. Hi, it's Alan Victoria. Welcome to our Talent Podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and get notified.
Honestly, we get called and text all the time at 252-327-3357. We love talking to you. Do not be shy. Also, don't forget our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below. Whew. Now, let's talk about closing costs.
Yes. What is about the closing costs?
Well, what about closing costs?
Well, what is inside?
The closing cost of a VA is fixed, and it can be transferred as well. So if you are selling this house, you can transfer. So it's a benefit that people in 2023 are starting to realize that interest rates are high. What can be done with the VA loan? And this isn't true with all loans, but a VA loan does allow you to transfer it if you need to. Either way, when you are buying this house for yourself, of course, back to you, the VA has very strict guidelines on what those closing costs will be. So they cannot charge you willy-nilly $10,000 or origination fee. I hate saying that word. They can't charge you crazy numbers. The VA has these numbers fixed on what they can do.
However, instead of the origination fee, we have something called VA funding fee, which is a little bit complicated. And the reason is, are you a first-time home buyer? This is your second home. Different factors, it comes to that basically funding fee.
But it's still fixed, and it's still something that the VA is controlling. So it is not something that's outlandish. And we have seen some crazy lenders charging crazy fees to people who get suckered in, and it's horrible. But the VA is very strict. None of that funny business with the VA loan.
Okay, what is the second thing that you want?
Next thing we're going to talk about is interest rates, no?
Yes.
What about interest rates?
Therefore, generally what we have, the lower interest rate is applicable to the veterans, no?
This is the lowest interest rate you can get on the market. It's going to be lower than FHA. It's going to be lower than USDA. It's going to be lower than conventional. Why? You've earned the right. You've earned the privilege. So you're going to get a lower interest rate than the rest of us in this country. And when as interest rates go up, as they are at the current filming of this video, it's a benefit to say you can at least get the lowest of these highs.
Exactly. And then that affects directly your monthly payment, which is going to be really good. What is the third thing we want
before we do that, you can also pay off your loan faster with the VA. So if you do have, you come into money and you want to put it down later, you can pay it off faster. There's no prepayments for penalty. So I just want to add that. Now let's talk about PMI.
PMI, or premium mortgage insurance. Is it applied? Private mortgage insurance.
I know, he meant the right thing. No, they are not required to pay PMI on a VA loan. You are going to have an extra payment with the VA loan, but it is nothing compared to PMI. It's going to lower your monthly cost by a lot. So if you're coming with zero money down and not having that extra $100, $200, $300, $500 of PMI, you're going to make this a much more affordable option.
Yes, because PMI always is a percentage of the total or gross amount of loan that you receive from that institution, the financial institution, and thanks to this benefit that the veterans they have, that they don't need to pay that PMI.
Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is loan reusability. You can here's something. I had a friend who was like, I don't want to buy a home because I want to be able to buy my retirement home with my VA benefits. But she is incorrect with this belief that she has, this false narrative, false belief, because you can use your VA benefits again and again and again. It is not a one home, one time, that's it benefit. It's if you live in a house a year or two, you move on. You can do that with the VA loan too. You can sell it and get another. So you are not stuck with only one home forever.
Yeah, exactly. Therefore, you can definitely buy as many properties as you want.
One at a time.
One at a time with the VA loans.
Now, let's talk about credit flexibility.
Exactly.
What about credit? What's the credit
Well,
score?
each loan product, like a conventional FHA, they have their own criteria and guideline. For example, for FHA, we are looking at 580. For conventional, we're looking at 620. No?
Right. Now, the VA does not. Now, lenders can put their own credit scores on there that they're going to do it for. However, there's no requirement from the VA that they think. In fact, the VA loans are typically more lenient with your credit history and credit score. And you can find lenders who will work with you. We're happy to tell you lenders that have helped our VA clients in the past who had less than perfect credit who still got their home. But every case is going to be unique in that. So definitely try to find a lender who's going to work with your benefits or work with your situation before they run the score. So you have to be honest with people. When you're honest with people, you find more people will help you than if you try to hide a situation and hide a story. Because then when you're hiding things, people don't trust you anymore.
But in general, most of the lenders, they have their own guidelines to give the loan. Even for VA, some of the lenders ask you need the minimum of 580. Therefore, don't get surprised on that.
Right. So that's why it's good to talk to a lender and be upfront and honest before they run your credit, because if they run their credits already, it's a dent against you. So be honest with somebody upfront and see what they can do with what your actual score is, because that can help a lot. Also, a little bit, which is not in the thing, but I think we should talk about debt, because this is typically the biggest reason VA loans get denied is too much debt. Because when you're buying a loan or any loan product, they look at DTI. We have a whole video on how car payments affect your debt, how student loans affect your debt. We have one on credit cards that's coming soon.
Credit card debt is going to affect that.
Right. We've been working on that one because that one's a little bit more complicated. But however, debt really does play a part in how much home you can afford based on your debt. However, the VA is more lenient with how much debt you can have, which is a good thing for a VA benefit.
Therefore, general rule is 43% for conventional FHA, and then you might see to 46% DTI. But with the VA loan, you can actually be more flexible, more than the 46% for the DTI.
So just so you know, we love helping people. We definitely love helping our VA clients all the time. We have a lot of experience in our area selling and buying homes. I don't know why I said that, like selling when it should be selling. Anyway, we love helping people. We love helping you. We're so excited whenever people call us from YouTube or our podcast and say, hey, they saw us or they like us. We love talking to you guys.
And don't forget to write us a comment, subscribe in our channel. We love to connect with you at 252-327-3357. Thank you.